From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the Noon News. I'm Augusta McDonnell. We want to wish a happy Memorial Day. Today, we want to honor all of the brave service members who've given their lives for our country. And if you are traveling today, keep in mind it might be a bit busy out there. A lot of people are heading home after the Memorial Day weekend, and those travelers broke a record Friday. The TSA expects Monday will be their busiest day on the backside of that holiday. The nation's airlines expect to fly 271 million passengers this summer. That's up more than 6% from last year's record pace. And if you're headed outside today, the spring runoff is beginning here in Montana. That means the rivers are going to be flowing fast. MTN's Chet Lehman shares some tips to keep you and your family safe on the water.
Snow is melting, rivers are rising. An exciting and beautiful thing to see. It's also a dangerous time. That water was snow just a few miles upstream. And there can be debris in there as well. That means it's definitely a place you don't want to be.
Rivers are such a dangerous situation right now. When you combine the CFS, the flows, and you throw a few logs in that with the cold water temperatures, it's just a whole lot of things can go wrong really fast.
If you choose to go out on the water this time of year, make sure everyone on board is prepared for safety.
Make sure that you got PFDs for everyone on board. Make sure that children under 12 are wearing them, most importantly. And then also to have those other tools with you like throw ropes or throwable PFDs that if someone's in the water in distress, you can get to them in a hurry and get them the help that they need.
When it comes to high water, it's this simple. Those rescue tools and knowing how to use them are often the difference between life and death.
Time is everything in something like this, and the things that are done right when the situation occurs is what's going to make the difference. Most of the time, by the time search and rescue or us get there, sadly, it's often too late. And so we'll do the best that we can to get there the quickest and safest. But having those tools to rescue somebody if they are in the water in distress can make all the difference and save the day.
Sergeant Wemple discourages taking young children near the river this time of year, but he says if you do, make sure you have a personal flotation device. And if they're very young, he encourages you to make them wear it all the time. It could save a life. On a rising Gallatin River, Chet Lehman, MTN News.
It is Memorial Day to remember and to honor. We'll have our local forecast for Memorial Day coming up here in just a moment. But what's going on across the U.S. today? The eastern U.S. areas of heavy rain today. Parts of Texas, the Gulf Coast, southern Florida, dangerous heat with at least some gradual relief by the time we get to the middle of the week. And the southern plains, northern Great Basin, and the northern Rockies, unsettled weather returns tomorrow. For us, most of us, just a gorgeous day today. High pressure dominating. Could see some thunderstorms up in the northeast corner of the state. As we get into tomorrow, especially by the middle of the week, we're going to see some changes in the forecast. More showers and thunderstorms and a cool down. We'll take a look coming up.
The Montana Attorney General's Office and the Montana Highway Patrol are reminding motorists to be safe as we enter the 100 deadliest days of summer. The time between Memorial Day and Labor Day sees more fatal crashes than any other time of year. According to MHP, there's already been a 15% increase in the number of traffic deaths on Montana roads compared to last year. MHP says it will increase trooper presence on Montana roads over the summer, and they encourage travelers to always wear a seatbelt, slow down, and follow the speed limit. If you do plan on drinking, make sure you have a safe and sober ride home. Back here in Billings, police continue to investigate after a 17-year-old girl was shot over the weekend. The shooting happened south in the 2000 block of Ball Willett Drive. That's up in the Heights. Police say an 18-year-old suspect turned himself in. He was booked into Yellowstone County Jail on charges related to the shooting. The 17-year-old girl was taken to the hospital and released. And up in Lockwood, an investigation is underway to determine what caused a fire at a power plant. Rosebud Operating Services building suffered extensive damage Saturday night. Lockwood firefighters found flames on 2 floors of the multi-story plant. Nobody was reported injured. And there are some changes coming to Flathead Lake where low water levels have been an issue since last summer. The U.S. Corps of Engineers gave the green light to bring the lake to full pool after lifting flood control restrictions. Energy Keepers, Inc. is the group that manages the lake levels. They said Friday in a press release they're continuing to let the minimum amount of water out of the lake in hopes of full pool being reached in mid-June. Forecasters are predicting another extremely dry summer like we had in 2023. This comes after engineers asked energy keepers twice to keep several extra feet of water in the lake this spring, hoping to prevent the low levels the lake saw last summer. And in Manhattan, talk about a fairy tale ending for the Tigers softball team. They're now Montana State BC champions. This was the scene late Saturday night in Manhattan as the team was welcomed back into town after clinching their first ever state championship. The Tigers dedicated the season and now their championship to their teammate Delaney Doherty, who was killed in a head-on crash last August. They came back after a 12-0 shutout on Friday against Shepherd, going on to beat Conrad Shoto and Florence Carlton before defeating Shepherd twice in a rematch in the championship round. Congratulations to those ladies. And as we kick off the official first day of summer, one town just east of Great Falls should be on your bucket list of summer adventures. MTN's Tommy Lynch is in Fort Benton.
The historic town of Fort Benton is excited to share their history with you as they open up their visitor center for the summer season.
There will be arguments. It's the most beautiful place in the state.
Fort Benton was founded in 1846 and is the oldest continuously inhabited settlement in Montana. Its nearly 180-year history can be felt in its architecture, its people, and even its visitors.
We do get a lot of people who have ancestral ties. It's really amazing.
Lennington has been running the visitor center for 4 years. Along with Lennington, the center is staffed with volunteers who share their love of the little town.
Everybody has a 2-hour shift a day. We have a couple split days. And so if you do Monday 10 to 12, you do Monday 10 to 12 from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Anyone who is interested in volunteering can stop by the center to learn more. This summer, Lennington is expecting more than 2,000 people to visit the birthplace of Montana.
But we have more people every summer.
If you are considering stopping by, Lennington has a plethora of suggestions on how to make the most of your visit, from the walking bridge over the Missouri River, fishing and ferrying the river, or joining in the fun of the summer celebration in June.
But just walking the downtown area, if you're only going to be here for a little bit. Great stores, great local shopping, great places to eat.
Fort Benton is excited to have you come down and see all they have to offer. Just don't forget to sign the guest book. In Fort Benton, I'm Tommy Lynch, MTN News.
Up next, Miller's in with another check of today's weather. Plus, we've got a great story for you on some folks getting a second chance. Stay with us.
The MTN Noon News continues right after this.